The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is set to deliver more rate hikes next year to address inflation, but the central bank says the tightening won't be as aggressive. President Bongbong Marcos signs into law his administration's first national budget. However, there is no word yet from Malacanang if there are vetoed items or if the BICAM version remained intact. And in the PBA, Magnolia ties their semifinal run with Ginebra while the Bay Area Dragons are just one win away from the finals. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin today's newscast with President Bongbong Marcos signing into law next year's government's budget. Man Los Baños with the report.
President Bongbong Marcos signed into law the 5.268 trillion peso budget on Friday. This is the first full-year spending plan approved under his administration. President Marcos said that the quick and timely passage of the bill is a good Christmas gift for him.
Well, I will have, I suppose, a Merry Christmas because this is as fine a Christmas gift as can be received by any president from his legislature.
President Marcos also welcomed the cooperation between the legislature and the executive.
There are many things that we would like to do. And we are slowly moving in that direction. We are doing all the structural changes that we need. The legislature has been very cooperative in making what amendments that we find are necessary to the laws in terms of investment, in terms of our financial policy.
Among the officials that attended the budget signing were Vice President Sara Duterte, senators and congressmen led by Senate President Mig Zubiri and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. The palace has yet to release the details of the General Appropriations Act. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman also earlier said that the president will veto 2 to 3 items. However, based on the final version passed by the Bicameral Conference Committee, the education sector received the biggest chunk of the 2023 budget with 900 billion pesos. This is followed by the Public Works Department and the Health Department with 300 billion pesos. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Sonny Angara said that among the programs to be funded by the signed budget bill is targeted cash assistance to be given to families badly hit by the pandemic. Angara also assures the public that the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program or 4Ps will continue to be funded and other assistance for vulnerable sectors. Reporting for News 5, Man Los Baños, we are One News.
One fisher group is calling on the government to permanently ban imported fish in local wet markets. The Pambansang Lakas ng Kilusang Mamamalakaya ng Pilipinas or Pamalakaya wants the Fisheries Bureau to repeal the law allowing the sale of imported fish in markets. They claim that wet markets remain exposed to cheap imported fish at the expense of the local fishing industry. The group also urges the government to support local fisherfolk and ensure their rights on Philippine fishing grounds and coastal areas. Recall that the BFAR suspended its ban on the sale of imported salmon and pampano in wet markets pending a review of existing laws. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas will continue its interest rate hike until the first quarter of 2023. BSP Governor Felipe Medalla told Bloomberg that policy rates will likely increase while the country's inflation remains above the government's target range. The BSP has raised its key policy rates by a total of 350 basis points this year in a bid to stabilize the peso and tame the inflation that's currently at a 14-year high.
As we keep saying, it's not dependent. But the likelihood of zero in the next 2 meetings, of course, extremely low.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Social Security system is hiking premiums next year. Gia Robles with the report.
It's not just prices of basic commodities that's going up. Starting January next year, SSS will push through with its contribution hike. The monthly rate will increase to 14% from the current 13%. This means that a member earning 30,000 pesos monthly will have to pay 4,200 pesos or an additional 300 pesos. The added amount though will be shouldered by the employer.
1% lang to ng SSS rate. This is basically very small. Wag na po natin i-deny or i-defer itong ganitong kaliit because the future of this is quite big.
But with inflation remaining elevated, the Employers Confederation of the Philippines says now is not the right time for a premium hike. They're calling on the SSS to defer it for the time being. In the meantime, the Social Security system is urging the public to take advantage of their other offers. This includes the Workers' Investment and Savings Program or WIS Plus.
WIS Plus is saving money, investing it, and reaping it when the time is right. And that time will be during a retirement.
Under the program, members can pay a minimum of 500 pesos on top of their monthly contribution. Members may also collect their earnings after a year of contribution.
For the partial withdrawal, it shall be allowed once a month only, and with remaining balance not lower than 500 pesos.
For workers like Rudy Evanches, a security guard, the program serves as an additional tool for growing his retirement money.
Okay na rin naman yung WES kasi mababalin din yung hulog tapos may withdraw ko pa.
The SSS says that compared to other programs, WIS Plus has no age limit and required membership type. For News 5, Gio Robles, We Are One News.
Pokemon will be saying goodbye to Ash Ketchum and Pikachu in 2023. Ash and Pikachu's storyline will be wrapped up in 11 episodes of Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, the series, which will premiere in January. But it's not the end for Pokemon. The Pokemon Company announced a new series coming up, complete with 2 new protagonists. Hardcourt action at the PBA Commissioner's Cup heats up as teams faced off in the semifinals, game number 2 on Friday. Magnolia Hotshots and Barangay Ginebra went head-to-head the whole match, but Magnolia's Paul Lee clutched the game at the last of 5 seconds, clinching the win 96-95. Lee made the basket after Stanley Pringle shot a 3-pointer for Ginebra's lead. Both teams now stand at 1-1. Meanwhile, the Bay Area Dragons beat San Miguel Beermen in its best PBA performance yet, 114-95. The Dragons were on a roll at the 3-point line, sinking 17 out of their 30 attempts. The visiting team is now gearing up to be the 3rd foreign guest to advance the PBA regular conference finals. Game 3 will resume on Sunday. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com. Stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.